Hello, welcome to Gen Z Finance. I'm an older Gen Z on the cusp of being a young millennial, documenting my financial journey here on YouTube and over on my Instagram at Zennial Finance. So make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and go follow me over there for more personal finance content. Today, we are going to be doing a quick portfolio update and review. I believe the last one I posted was in late 2020 or maybe early 2021, and I will link it up above if you have not seen it yet already. So I'm going to review three main things. I'm going to review my asset allocation, which is what are the general types of assets that I am invested in, my asset location, which is where are these assets held, and then my specific holdings. In case you need it spelled out for you, I am not a financial advisor. This is not actual true investing advice. This is just showing you what I do. So as of May 24th, I have just under $40,000 invested, $39,200. And so my current allocation is shown here, and this is BTW. This is a spreadsheet that I got from Millennial Money Honey, and I will leave the link for the free download in the description box down below. But you can see that I have about 3.5% in bonds, about 9.5% in international stocks, and then 86.5% in US stocks. What I like about this spreadsheet, you can enter in what your target allocation is, and you can see that originally when I set this up, I said my target allocation was 5% bonds, 15% international stocks, and 80% US stocks. I'm no longer targeting that 5% bonds. I do think the 3.5% I have now is okay. And I actually might look at liquidating all of my bonds and investing that in international equities, but we will go over that more in a couple of minutes. And I'm really happy where my international stocks are now, because if we look down here, you can see I've kind of been tracking like what my past allocation was on these certain dates. Back in January of 2021, I only had 5% of my assets in international, and now they are almost at that 10% mark. So this tells me that my strategy, which was to strategically contribute more heavily to my international holdings than my US holdings, that strategy is working. I'm kind of actually toying with a target allocation that is probably going to be like 20% international stocks, 80% US stocks, and 0% bonds. I do want to make a note that as of this month in May, I do now have some money in crypto. I have about $350 in crypto. And if we take that math and do 350 divided by the 40,000 of my entire assets, that is less than 1%. For now, I'm not really going to track my crypto allocation in my overall asset allocation. I probably should, but it's just my personal preference that honestly I think as little about that crypto as possible. So next we're going to look at my asset location. So this is where I'm investing that money. This is a dashboard that I created that I have for sale in the description box down below, and you can see that overall I actually have $66,000 in assets, but if you look here you can see 40% of that, so about $27,000 is in cash, and then the rest of that is at $39,000 that is invested. So I'm just going to blow up this asset by account chart so that we can take a deeper dive into that. Okay, so once again, this just reviews my assets by account. So I do have quite a bit of my assets in cash. However, if we compare this chart to the chart from 1 year ago, so this is my assets by account as of May of 2020, you can see that my cash made up 84% of my assets. So it's definitely still a larger percent of my assets than ideally I would want, but it is shrinking a lot, and it's not shrinking because I'm spending a lot of cash, it's just shrinking because I'm putting more and more into my invested assets and they are growing at a faster rate. So back to May of 2021, so I'm not too worried about my cash being 40% because again, that's just continuing to shrink, and eventually it will get to a more ideal, I think, allocation. I'm not exactly sure how much I want to keep in cash in comparison to my entire assets. Obviously, the target allocation that I showed you earlier, that was only looking at my invested assets and not all of my assets, including my cash. But I think by the end of this year, I do want to see my cash be ideally less than 30%. And then my 401k makes up 28% of my assets. That makes a lot of sense to me because the maximum amount that you can put into that account is the biggest of all of the tax advantage accounts. So I did not max this out in 2020, but I am working on maxing it out in 2021. And just when you compare it to all my other accounts, it's definitely the account where I have the most room to put the most amount of money. So for a lot of people, 401ks are usually one of their biggest accounts. My next biggest account is my Roth IRA, which makes up 16%. This is just with about 1.5 years of contributions. So I fully mixed out for 2020, and then I almost did half of the contribution so far in 2021. I'm really proud that my HSA HSAs, making up 7% of my assets, because the more that I can get and invest in my HSA, I just feel like that is such a great safety net for when I am older. The HSA is never going to be like one of my biggest accounts, but where it is now, I'm happy about that. Finally, my Vanguard brokerage account is sitting at 7.5%. I'm really excited because I didn't even start investing in a taxable account until October of 2020, when I started investing in all of these other accounts maybe in March or April of 2020. So seeing the brokerage account grow and be almost 8% of my assets when I didn't even begin investing in it until 6 months after I invested in these other accounts, that's really exciting for me. So that is my asset location breakdown, and I wanted to share this. This is what I call an investing matrix. There is a blank copy available for purchase again in that same link where you can get the net worth tracker and dashboard. You can also purchase the investing matrix and investing log, and this is what I use to track all of my investing during the year. So if you read it across, it tells you how much I invested in each account. If you read it down, it tells you how much I invested in each asset type. So I like this matrix because it is both an asset allocation and an asset location breakdown for me. So you can see that so far in 2021, I've invested just under $13,000. And my goal for the year is to invest about $32,300, which means I still have $19,300 to go. Okay, so what am I actually invested in? So this spreadsheet, which again is from Millennial Money Honey, and this is what I fill out to do the calculations on my allocations. This is actually like the holdings tab of that. So this shows you the 7 specific tickers that I am invested in and where that money is. So you can see in my Vanguard taxable account, I am in VXUS and VTSAX. So the total international stock index ETF and the total US stock market mutual fund, respectively. Then in that FICA alternative plan, I am in the Vanguard 500 index fund, and that's just because I felt like that was the best index fund that was available to me in that account. I am fully VTSAX in my Roth IRA, and I have just over 100 shares. So if you actually combine the shares that I have in my Roth IRA and then my taxable account, I have just over 138 shares in total VTSAX, but they're in separate accounts just because obviously I can't put more than $6,000 into a Roth IRA every year, so that extra money goes into my brokerage account where I invest in the same thing. Next, my 401k is at Fidelity, so all of these are Fidelity funds. This actually was a recent change. Before they had Vanguard fund options, so I was invested in the Vanguard S&P 500 and then the Vanguard small cap and mid cap index funds, as well as the US bond index fund, but my employer recently changed the options available to me to all of the Fidelity funds, which really doesn't matter. They're all the same funds and the expense ratios are very comparative. I believe Fidelity's is like slightly lower, but it really makes no difference to me either way. I did just like how like all of my holdings were Vanguard, either funds or ETFs, and now I do have some Fidelity in here. Again, it doesn't really matter. And then in my invested HSA account, which is with TD Ameritrade, I have 9 shares of VTI, which is the ETF version of the US total stock market, and 41 shares of VXUS. This is the main account where I buy VXUS in my HSA and then in my taxable account. And at the time, it was set up like this because in my 401k I didn't have any access to international funds, so I knew I wanted to have my international exposure at least 15%, like we talked about with my allocation, but I couldn't buy that in my 401k, so I just had to look at my other accounts and how much room those accounts would give me to be able to purchase this. So that's why I had VXUS in my HSA account, and then I needed to also purchase some in my brokerage to get up to that allocation that I was looking for. But now that they have changed the funds available to me in my 401k, I do have access to a Fidelity Total International Stock Index Fund. I am thinking about just liquidating this US bond index fund that has about $1,400 in it, kind of swapping that investment out for the international index fund, and then future contributions that would have gone to this bond portion would be going to the international portion, and that will just further allow me to get that international allocation up to my target of 15% where it is now. And then like we talked about, if I get rid of the bonds, I think I would want to replace that part of my allocation with the international stocks, so get that up to 20%. So this is a graph that just pretty much takes that holdings page and turns it into a pie chart. So you can see the actual breakdown of everything. 6% of my portfolio is in the extended market, so that is mid and small cap index funds and companies that are not in the S&P 500. I do have those 3.6% in bonds, but if I were to kind of sell all of that and buy the international index fund, that would bring my current 9.7% allocation of international stocks up to about 13.5%. So that would get me really close to that 15% allocation target like we talked about. Then 38.5% of my portfolio is in S&P 500, and again, the majority of that is in my 401k. My 401k does not offer a total US stock. It only offers the S&P 500 and then the extended market. So combined together, that pretty much is a total US stock fund right there. It's just split up in two. And 42% is in the total stock market between VTSAX in my Roth IRA and taxable account, and then VTI in my HSA as well. That all makes up $16,500 for my portfolio. Okay, so that is going to wrap up this video. We covered my asset allocation, location, and then my specific holdings. Once again, I am not a financial advisor, so if you have any questions, you can feel free to leave them down below and I will try my best to answer them, but always do your own research. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy and that you have a good day.